Channel switched.
Alrighty. You there, Lily?
Yep, hello.
Yes. Alrighty. We are in the game, in the drafting screen now. I'm at 31 seconds. Yourself?
31 seconds, you can do the countdown.
Awesome. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's get this underway. Oh, an immediate Duxia ban. And then an immediate follow-up Barada, and then an immediate follow-up Undying. Is there going to be an immediate ban now as well from Zenith? Both teams look like they know what they want to do. And Nick's Assassin it is.
These are incredibly decisive bans.
Yeah.
And it leaves the first pick open for Magnus for TnC. Zenith must have some kind of plan they're going to follow this up with. Might see maybe a strong combo like the Keeper of the Light Phantom Lancer. Or
Yep, I agree. And they secure a Rubik, very strong support as well, and with a Magnus in the pool, a couple of good spells to steal. Of course, very versatile hero as well. I think I say this every time I cast and I see a Rubik. Generally played as a support these days. Feels like the days are gone where Rubik is played as mid. And Lily has disconnected. That's fine, fortunately the game hasn't started yet. Zenith's taking a while on their second pick, which is a little bit surprising on how fast everything else has been going. Now it's a little bit slow. Maybe they wanted the Magnus. Maybe.
User joined your channel.
hello, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Hello.
I'll be back in the game.
No matter, you're missing Zenith, burn through a little reserve time. Oh, and they pick up a Jakiro, so far two very strong supports with the Rubik and Jakiro. They must have something in mind. Jakiro generally not a first round pick these days.
But remember, this was done in December where Jakiro was a first round pick.
I've been corrected. This has been played in December. I see. Now TnC taking a fair bit of time as well. Anyway, go on.
It is interesting that they go for two support picks. After, last game they went for the solo jungler and the carry in the first three bans, so taking those two supports means they're probably going to leave themselves a little bit more versatile with their later picks. They know TnC has a plan and they probably want to be able to counteract it as best as they can.
Remember, this is Zenith too, so we might see some Doombringer, some Puck, or something a little bit else left field. Let's hope so anyway. I think that would be the main reason why one would pick up two supports straight away. You want to go something a little bit left field and not reveal what you're getting. Lone Druid and Queen of Pain now pick up for TnC, two very strong heroes. Still very versatile. I would say the Lone Druid is going to be offlane. Magnus not so good at offlane these days. With the nerf in the skewer.
Was his skewer nerfed in this one?
I think it was. I'm gonna say it was.
What point in the game are you up to, huh?
Dire team ban.
4 minutes, 7 seconds. Sorry about this, guys. We are casting from a replay today. This is from the Asia. And if you didn't already figure out, this is TnC versus Zenith. And a Tinker pickup now as well. I'm not too sure if you're up to the right timing now.
What are you up to?
4 minutes, 29.
Dire team ban.
Tinker a little bit of a left field pick. I wouldn't say that unordinary. A very, very strong pick.
Turn to ban.
Well, Tinker definitely does good against both the Queen of Pain and the Magnus. He does have that ability to stop the Druid solo push, so once he gets his boots of travel up, one thing the Druid does really, really well is those side lane pushes, and with the Tinker there, he's going to have a lot of difficulty trying to take towers. Much as spam is going to be very, very deadly. So I think it's quite a good pickup.
Yeah, I was just about to comment on that as well. A lone druid wants to solo push all the time, and then a tinker just teleports in and throws down a couple of March of the Machines stacked on top of each other. Even a bear can't tank that forever.
Yeah. In terms of bans, we're seeing a carry ban out. The Nighthawker ban out, which I think is really interesting, but I guess they just don't want to verse it as, as we mentioned last draft, the Nightstalker's just got that huge versatility, and you can just roam around the map and shut down heroes like the Magnus, the Queen of Pain, and the Lone Druid, who are really, really versatile, not versatile, mobile. The Tide is just a generally good all-around hero. If they decide to put the Rubik as a solo, Tide could be a really devastating support when combined with the THD. We just see general support banouts from Zenith, as TnC is in need of support, so they're just trying to get rid of as many strong supports as they can.
Yeah, the Tide Hunter banner looks like TnC want to secure themselves the dominant team fight this game. Team fight control anyway. Perhaps there'd be a Brewmaster as well, maybe picked up by TnC, I'm not too sure. I don't think so, that wouldn't really fit with their lineup. Brewmaster, another big team fight control hero. Currently, it's just the reverse polarity that's such a huge impact in a team fight, in terms of control.
Pretty sure Queen of Pain has good impact.
A lot of impact, not so much control.
But
I guess he does, it forces people to not... What was that?
Yeah, positioning. Makes them think about the positioning.
Yeah.
I mean, Queen of Pain isn't as direct as the Magnus in terms of control, but I think she has a fair amount of control.
Zenith banned the Enigma themselves. I think if TnC had another ban, they might have gone for an Enigma ban, but Zenith actually banned it out themselves. Yeah, and here we go. This is why they want those teamfight controllers banned out, because they've opted for a Sven. Might be playing a support role, but basically a Sven, you want to get him doing some huge cleave damage. Even if he's just a support, he can do the damage.
Yeah, we've seen TnC run that support Sven before. Chen was playing it last time, and he did have a really strong effect on team fights, as well as being a really great roamer in the early game. You know, they might pick up something like a Shadow Demon, possibly. Otherwise, something like a Lion or a Lena can combo well with the Sven, as well as giving a bit of nuke damage to take down those 3 squish heroes that Zenith have picked up at the moment.
Dire team pick.
Zenith grab another Naga. I think that's quite interesting. They did the Naga last game, but it didn't do so well for them.
I'm not sure in which order these replays were from. We might have been watching it in the wrong order. I don't think we were. So maybe that loss happened after this game, I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure that's not the case though. I don't think I've got them in the wrong order. But they're confident with their Nagasara play, so they pick it up.
Lena. Zenith's turn.
They do take Lena, like I said. Lena is definitely going to be able to eat through all of these heroes that Zenith have got at the moment. The Laguna Blade only having a 70-second cooldown at just level 1. Can easily take down the Rubik, Tinker, Naga, and Jakiro, so I think the Lena's going to have a really, really strong effect in this game.
Yeah, and the roam capabilities coming out from a Sven and Lena are huge.
Really devastating combo.
Yeah. We'll see how they run it in the lanes. Typically Magnus, Lone Druid, and Queen of Pain not hit tri-lane heroes. I mean, Lone Druid can maybe in a defensive, but not so good at aggressive. So the Sven and Lena, I don't know, might be a defensive tri-lane perhaps. It's a little bit weird. And a Necrolite pickup by Zenith as well. What do you think about that?
I think that's a very Zenith pick. Completely out of left field, unexpected.
It's a very Zenith pick.
Yeah, but it definitely could have a very positive effect. That Naga's got really cool outfits.
Yeah.
But very interesting picks, honestly. The Necro, I think, is going to have a pretty hard time farming if they do decide to go for they're going for an aggressive tri-lane. The Necro versus the Magnus, it looks like it should be. He should have an okay time. He'll be able to harass that Magnus down, and if the Magnus goes on him or Tau dives, Death Pulse should do a significant amount of damage. In terms of tri-lane though, Sven Lena is a very, very aggressive combo, and this is going to depend a lot on Ninja Boogie's ability to micro that bear. If he can micro that bear well and harass effectively against the two supports for Zenith, I think they're going to win this tri-lane, but otherwise, the Naga Rubik THD combo is pretty deadly as well. So a lot of lockdown and disables.
I don't think quite as much kill potential coming out from the Radiant team. Which, while we're at it, let's quickly run through the players. I'll go through Zenith. We got XY on the Tinker, A on the Necrolite, Freedom on the Rubik, Ice on the Naga Siren, and Lux on the Jakiro.
For the Dire, we've got Ninja Boogie on the Silver Bear, Jesse Vash playing the Magnus, Fox on the Lena, Chen playing the Sven, and Rio playing the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, as I said, it's going to be a defensive tri-lane for the Dire. Ninja Boogie on the Lone Druid, as you said. If he can micro that bear, that'll be quite good. Even if he doesn't choose to try get kills with the bear himself, the Sven Lena combo is so huge. Jakiro is very good defensively. The Ice Path might be able to stop 1 or 2 kills. We'll have to see how this pans out. It is a very interesting lineup. I personally would give Dire the advantage in this. Especially once the Lena can get her nuke and the stun combo as well.
Like, the thing that Dire had going for them is they have a lot of position disruption skills, whereas, like, the Sven Lena, they do have that fantastic combination with the stun, but, you know, it's just a stun, whereas Rubik can toss them out of the way, and if they don't position themselves well, they're going to get hit with the Ice Path, and they've got the net, not to mention the Riptide, which will, you know, remove their armor from Zenith's side, so I'm not going to dismiss the tri-lane straight away. It's a different sort of tri-lane, it's not so overtly aggressive, but if they can position themselves well and, you know, make TnC get out of position, they will stand a chance, I say. Otherwise, I'm sure they wouldn't have laned like this if they thought it was going to be hopeless.
The battle begins.
Yeah, of course, of course. My apologies if it came across that I thought this tri-lane was going to be a stomp. That was definitely not my intention.
Oh, I didn't think you were. I have faith in Zenith. I'm gonna see the Rubik pick up DD. Really, I can assume that's because of his greater attack range, so he's gonna have a better time doing harassment on the enemy to come forward.
Yeah, Jakiro very, very hard to harass with. So I agree with that decision. They've chosen not to ward this pull camp, and just as I say that, they do. They go for the hidden one, which is a lot harder to de-ward, unless they get like a flying courier. Oh no, it's not in the hole. It should actually be visible if they walk around, so that's not too bad.
I was gonna say on bot lane, very good control by Ninja Boogie, unless he gave control to Jesse. I'm not too sure, but just using that bear to not only pull the creep wave to Dire Tower, but he also used it to pull the Radiant. The Diac wave into the neutrals. So Zenith Necrolite is missing out a lot of farm. He was starting a whole creep wave because he couldn't get it because he was getting killed by the neutrals there, so
yeah.
Really good micro.
A very aggressive lane ward being placed by this Rubik on the top lane. So they might look to get some kills actually. No ward from the Dire either to give them vision and see where these support players are for Zenith. So it looks like Lux and Freedom are out of position. They do lift the Lena back in. The Ice Path just misses. A bit of a mistake there. That could have converted them into a kill. And in fact, then it turns around and the Sven gets the stun. Did the Lena get the stun on that as well? I'm fairly certain she did. Oh no, the Lena actually did get picked off in that, and the Naga did not. They might be able to turn this into a double kill as well. This Lone Druid is getting very, very low. They should just die for this and get the kill. The teleport coming in, and the Riptide does get the kill. Lena is coming straight back. She's lifted straight back to get back out of the fight, so she can't land her stun, and looks like the Naga Siren's going to be able to get out scot-free. The Jakiro will drop, though. The animation delay on the Ice Path potentially costing him his life. The follow-up stun does come. The Naga Siren does get hit, so she should get killed. There is mana for this stun, although it is just out of range. A little bit unfortunate. They do turn around and get the Rubik kill, though.
Very exciting first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That lane is incredibly explosive.
I've actually got the kills for those. That is hero level. There we go.
2 kills on the Rubik, 1 kill on Ice. And 1 death on the Rubik and 1 death on Jakiro. 1 kill on Silver and 1 death, 2 deaths on the Lena. Well, honestly, I said I had to go towards Radiant, as that guy did manage to score 1 kill and didn't die, whereas Silver did die, even though he did 1 kill.
A little bit unfortunate for them there. He was very close. If that Lena was perhaps 1 second sooner to respawn and TP in, it might have actually saved the Lone Jewel's life.
I mean, meanwhile, the Magnus is having a very hard time against this Necro. Score is 22 to 6 Necro, whereas only 9 to 0 on the Magnus, and he's on low, well, not low health, but not full health and almost out of mana. I think he's having a very rough time leaning against this Necrolite.
Yeah, definitely Outlast hitting this. Necrolite on 23 for 6, so essentially free farm at this point. The Magnus isn't able to contest the farm. He has managed to get 10 himself, but no denies. And the Necrolite is controlling his wave fairly well. So he is very safe, even if the Queen of Pain were to try rotate. As long as it's called that the Queen of Pain is missing. Since there is no wards up for either team in the bottom portion of the map.
This Rubik might pick up a haste rune. Yeah, Sven and Lena do have vision of him, and no, they don't decide to go on him. And the Rubik just gets a little bit of harassed before running off again. Very nice timing though by the Rubik. He didn't actually have vision of them there. He just seemed to have a sixth sense for when they were coming. As he picked that rune up, as soon as Chen, Chen's to go forward. Oh, I guess I should say Sven. Sven is playing Sven.
This mid lane's getting a little bit more explosive as this Tinker gets more levels, and likewise with the Queen of Pain, they both get a lot more burst damage. Very interested to see how this lane goes on.
Mid lane we're going to see some action. These two supports have looped around with their smoke on. They're going to go for an initiation on the Tinker right there. Sven's done, followed up by Lena, Nuke, and Scream of Pain from the Queen of Pain. Just going to drop that Tinker very fast. It's very susceptible to those early ganks. But there is also initiation on top lane as well. The net flies out on in Boogie, followed up by a telekinesis as well as an ice path, and they might just grab him. But no, he managed to get away on just 100 health, 190 health.
Maybe if that poor Jakiro had boots at this point, he might have been able to get a little bit closer, put the ice path down, and then being close enough to get a dual breath off and slow. Would it have been enough to kill the lone druid? I'm not too sure, especially with the rotations of the Sven. The Lena didn't come with. Lena might be going for another kill on this Tinker. Without the Sven though, it's a lot less reliable. Of course, the Queen of Pain does have quite a nice slow just by throwing out a level 1 dagger.
A little bit of a fight at top lane. Nice Lena stun on the Rubik. She might actually score the kill on this. But the Rubik does have boot and the Lena doesn't. And he does actually trap poor Lena up on the cliff here.
6 minutes into the game, that's not such a huge deal. There's already a crow up. This friend might just be able to pass a TP if he has one. He doesn't. And he doesn't have one on the way too, so they will have to wait for the courier to come back now. A little bit unfortunate by the Lena.
Down on bot lane. Magnus has just hit level 6 and the Queen of Pain is standing with an Invis rune, also level 6. We're going to see initiation. Magnus skewers in, reverse polarity. Queen of Pain is just going to scream with pain as well as the Sonic Wave, and that Necro is going to fall. All the farm in the world can't protect you from that.
Death.
Absolutely. Did the Sonic Wave come out after the Necrolite died? I'm not too sure.
No, I think it was the final nuke that took him down.
Oh, okay. Potentially a little bit of overkill. The Necrolite doesn't actually have any escape. Although we can heal up quite efficiently.
Gonna see another initiation in mid. And initiates with the stun, followed up by the Scream, Queen of Pain. Tinker might just manage to get away. And he's actually gonna score a kill on the Sven with that.
Yeah, very nice then. Was it the TP in from the Rubik able to lift up and defend his Tinker just in time, and as he's running off, the Tinker just pops his rockets. Gets the kill on the Sven, who overcommitted by that point. Very nicely played by them. Didn't lose their Tinker out of it. Necrolite now getting a bit more farm in mid. With the Jakiro and the Rubik now bottom. Gonna get some more levels up on these guys, I assume.
Yeah, it's definitely what we're going to be looking towards. And since the Jakiro has picked up one level of liquid fire, I think we can expect them to do a little bit of pushing soon.
Tinker not quite with his boots of travel up yet. He's getting somewhat close, and he has gone mid to start pushing that out a little bit. He's only up against the lone druid now since the Sven and Lena have also both rotated. Might look to turn this into a tri-lane at bottom and get some kills. Still not much vision for either team. Zenith actually with the advantage this time. Got a rune for the bottom. Got a ward for the bottom rune, sorry, and one for the top as well, giving nice coverage of mid. Very nice when you're versing a Queen of Pain who can sort of sit somewhere back here and blink back in blink in aggressively.
There you go. Dire's putting some wards up, like a nice ward in mid to give it a little bit of extra protection. Queen of Pain. I think they're going to plan another one at top just to give this Syllabare a bit of protection. Honestly, I'd say things are going in favor of the Radiant at the moment. They do tend to have a little bit more of an well, they do have a bit more of an ability to push a bit earlier. With the Necrolite, he's almost going to have his mech up soon. Tinker's have his boots of travels. And the Rubik and the Jakiro are just going to be able to roam around the map with the Necrolite and just score kills, get some towers down hopefully, while the Naga farms and Tinker just pushes whatever lane the is trying to farm in. Whereas unfortunately for TnC, the build is very teamfight based. We might see initiation in mid here. Jesse Vash is just getting ready to go in, but that Jakiro is hiding in the trees ready to defend the Tinker. Sorry, not the Tinker, the Naga.
This is also a shame too, even if a reverse polarity is popped on this Naga, if she's not brought down immediately, she can just defensively pop the song and we'll have to see if she'll have time to do that. No, she doesn't indeed. Both ultimates are used to just secure that and guarantee the Naga Siren kill.
But as I was saying, Zenith, the team isn't based so much on ultimates and it's more based on that kind of long-standing push with the Jakiro got that liquid fire and the dual breath, and the Necro's got that heal which he won't really run out of mana assuming he can get the last hits. Whereas TnC are really relying on the reverse polarity and the Queen of Pain Sonic Wave, which is only up once every 2 minutes, so now that it's down, they're just going to have to go back to passive farming. Whereas if Zenith chose to, they could use this, this kind of lull period to take some towers. This is the one flaw with TnC's draft is that they really need that dominance in teamfights, which they're not getting. They are managed to take the Naga out, but is it enough when the Necro is just free farming bottom? And if they take the Necro out, the Naga is just going to be free farming mid. It's very hard for them.
This is getting really dangerous. The Necrolite with the mech is absolutely brutal. So much heals and push can come out from this team. And with a Tinker that can split push while you're sort of potentially 4-1-ing. With the Necrolite there, a lot of push. Naga gets very low, but she'll be fine. Not quite enough damage over time coming from just the level 1 dagger of the Queen of Pain. And she does have Tranquil Boots, so she'll be able to pop those and regen up quite nicely.
Yeah, I think they're just going to wait for this Mecha up on the Necro, and then I think we're going to see some aggressive pushing. This Tinker's got his travel up, and he's just going to be trying to harass this bear down as much as possible. He really wants to stop the Syllabare from farming.
Very nicely by Zenith there. They saw TnC put that ward up by the Ancient in the top rune. So immediately the sentries were bought by the Rubik and they dewarded that. That's very nice. Zenith definitely needs map control in this game as they want to be pushing as much as possible.
His smoke gank on bot by the Sven and the Lena. It looks like they're going to try and go on this Naga, but that THD is just standing there protecting him. Manages to pop the smoke, and he gets sight of them from the ward, so he can just back off before they even see him. Very nice play by the THD there. He's always just lurking in the shadows, ready to defend his carry. Reverse polarity is up. Might see a dive.
No, go on.
What are you saying?
I was just saying, if this fight gets delayed any longer, the rotations will come from Zenith. Tinker's now regenning back, and he can TP into this fight, which he does now. Pops the March of the Machines, and pretty much nullifies all push coming from this point.
Rubik. Well, this Rubik's being chased down Queen of Pain. Cool.
Positioning is very weird this fight. Everyone's all over the fight. No one seems to know what's going on. The song is used, but then a two-man reverse polarity comes out. So potentially not spreading enough after that song. A little bit of a mistake. Queen of Pain does clean up. So much burst.
I think bad communication is that Takiri did cast that Ice Path, but it's only level 1, so it just didn't last long enough to
Radiant's top tower is
keep
under
that
attack.
Magnus in place, and he just went straight out and got that double reverse polarity. And meanwhile, the Syllabed pushes down top tower. He's been left alone for 1 minute maximum, and he's managed to farm up 3k, get that tower down, have his relic up soon if he chooses to go that route.
I'm really surprised that fight went that way for Zenith. The defensive song was used and still three went down. That's quite a big deal. Definitely must have been a miscommunication or something, because that just should not have happened. Moving on, I'll use this time, have a quick look at the last hits. 82 and 17 for the Necrolite. He's been ahead on the charts all game, doing very well for himself, and he had that mech up, I think, for that last fight. I'm not too sure. 64 and 10 for the Syllabed. I'm surprised he doesn't have that little bit more, and he hasn't had too much luck pushing. They still have a tier 2 on full health. Lone Druid, who hasn't been getting too much pressure. Of course, he has had the Tinker counter pushing the lane, making it a little bit hard. But he hasn't had many heroes being committed to him to shutting him down, so I thought he might have been doing a little bit better. He is very close to his Sacred Relic now, though, so that's quite nice.
Lena's just going to run to this TOD here. She's trying to get the stun off, but she does actually miss, and the THG just plants that ward up there. So does Lena. A little bit of a support harassing each other.
Maxwell on the Tinker now, really getting active with his Boots of Travel, as you said. And he's going for a Soul Ring now, which is absolutely fantastic. Gives him nice sustain in the lane, especially if he runs out of mana and can't manage to TP home or do a rearm if he needs. Soul Ring is absolutely fantastic. Might go for something like a Force Staff next and just keep the utility rolling and really try force a push. Which would make sense given their lineup, and after all this is Zenith as well, who like to take fights and finish a game relatively early.
Yeah, I think we can expect probably a Blink or a Force Staff, some kind of escape item. He's just going to be pressuring these lanes as much as he can. And that's the really strong thing of Tinker is once he gets those Boots of Travel up, as well as the bottle and the Soul Ring, he's just going to be all over the map. If there's a team fight, he'll be there. But if there's not a team fight, he's just going to be pressuring those lanes and making it really difficult for the enemy to push in effectively. And bot lane, that Sven is just camping the Tinker. He knows he's going to be TPing down there. But Tinker's just that little bit too smart. And a Blink Dagger is picked up as well by the Magnus, which will make him a lot more active in team fights, as he'll be able to position himself a lot better.
I think if a Reverse Polarity did come out on this Tinker, it would be a death for him. Even if he had 4 Staff, I'm not so sure he'd be able to survive that initial burst.
And that's why I think that Blink Dagger can be a bit more of a viable item for him, as he can just, you know, TP in, blink out straight away into the bushes and cast that March, which has got a huge AoE. And he doesn't ever have to actually go into lane. He's just a little bit safer for him.
Magnus pops in power on himself, so they might be looking to go in a second. He is in position if he wants to blink in. Oh no, he actually whips his Reverse Polarity. That's a huge mistake. Maybe the March of the Machines cancelled his blink, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I think his blink's cancelled. That
Oh,
poor
wow.
Imagine he's kicking himself right now. There he was.
That would have been huge too, to be able to deny some extra gold from this Tinker and delay the pretty much inevitable 4-star for Blink Dagger. Wow. And he committed so much time at bottom too, that's so unfortunate from him.
Yeah.
Also, quite smart play from the Tinker, I guess, always making sure he's got much machines down if he's pushing forward. Maybe he had that in mind, I'm not too sure. A smoke gang coming from the Sven and Lena now as well, so they might look to make something happen. Magnus is still in position to provide some DPS. There'll probably be a skirmish here if they do find each other. Do they have enough burst even with the Laguna to bring down the Necrolites? Yeah, I think they probably will.
Dire's middle tower.
A smoke up from Zenith themselves. It looks like they're going to be heading top.
Nice harassed by the bear. They actually get a kill on Ice now, but he does manage to pop over that defensive song, and the support's get in position, ready to take down Ninja Boogie. He's just very, very tank. The Necro ult does manage to fall. The Queen of Pain's next in line. Nice net by the Naga there, managed to keep in position while the supports do the damage on him.
Yeah, very nicely played by Zenith there. That definitely paid off. If the Naga were to drop and didn't get the song off, that wouldn't have gone like that at all.
No, it wouldn't.
Both heroes would have been able to walk away scot-free with a 1-for-0 kill on the Naga. Didn't happen though, which is unfortunate. The song came out and they converted it to a 2-for-0 in favour of Zenith. All the meanwhile, I can only assume that Tinker was split pushing the map.
Very interesting now that Zenith isn't worried so much with warding. The Rubik has got some wards in his inventory, but he hasn't planted them yet, and the map is basically just black, and they're not worried too much, as they're basically just sticky in lanes. They have enough map awareness to know that they're probably going to get ganked.
Reverse polarity back up on the Magnus now.
Safe.
Let's see, he might stay a little bit out of position, and if the Tinker ever tries to go on this lone druid, he'll be in position to get a blink reverse polarity off. He's got something on the courier coming to him now. What was that? I was just bringing himself a clarity, maybe. Giving himself the mana. That's quite nice. Arcane boots for the Lina. That'll definitely help the Sven roam if they want to continue doing that. Sven obviously a hero with huge mana problems. Throws out 2 Qs and then he's out of mana.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Tinker has TP'd mid, so there's 4 mid for the Radiant, and there was 4 mid for the Dire. However, it looks like 3 of them are rotating the bot, looking for a kill, but there is no one there. A little bit unsure what they want to do. A bit of a standoff at mid at the moment.
I think TnC is just trying to turtle just enough time for this bear to get his relic up, but he is very close. His deaths though have set him back just a little bit. That death he had like a couple of minutes ago really just... He would have had the Radiance up by now, be able to participate in team fights, but it was a very well-timed death. So yeah, I think they're just getting space. Nika did grab Blink Dagger, like I said. TP's in somewhere, blinks immediately into the bushes so they can't catch sight of him. Just cast that much at the machines.
Another smoke being used for TnC. They've used so many smokes this game, and none of which have... Maybe one of them, but not all of them have been super effective.
Like they've given up on the Tinker and they're just going to try and trade for this bot tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm not so sure if they've given up. I think they're hoping this Tinker's going to TP back down bottom to defend. Not the case though, so they do get the uncontested one tower.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
The glyph used for Dire, TnC want to defend this tower, and Radiant do back off. They're not going to commit to this push just yet. Still no committing to the fight yet.
I mean, I think now it's Radiant's turn just to turtle a little bit, since Ice is very, very close to his relic, and once he gets his Radiance up, he's going to be all over the map farming. Probably going to be in the jungle mode, so they might give him bot lane just to farm safely while his illusions farm the jungle. We're going to see a Roshan attempt, and given the lack of wards around the Roshan area for Zenith, they have no clue. Radiance is up on the bear, which is giving them really high DPS.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They could definitely contest if they knew. And it looks like they might know now, maybe. No, they're just grabbing the tower.
Just getting the tower.
Nice attempt to deny by the Queen of Pain. Blinks out of the Roche Pit, goes for a deny, and then comes back in.
Oh, I see the Naga illusions have caught sight of it. And the Roshan is incredibly low health. They might actually try and steal it.
Yeah, this might force an engagement just because Roshan is so low at the moment. With the
The
Naga
Radiance
song
isn't-
though, if anything goes too wrong, they should just be able to get out. So I don't see Zenith really losing this fight.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The Bear Radiance is chasing the Naga away. She's going to net it and just try and hit it down a little bit. But a very lucky Entangle proc on the Naga. Going to get her very low, and she's forced to pop that song just to get out of the situation before she dies. I think they're going to have to let the Rosh go.
Yeah, not quite what I expected there.
Roshan has fallen to the ground.
That's good. Queen of Pain will get her next core item up. And with the Lone Druid now, with the Aegis and the Radiance, they might look to push down a couple of towers. At least take the tier 1 in mid and give themselves that little bit extra map control. And they are rotating mid now. I believe the reverse polarity is up. In fact, all ultimates are up at the moment, except for the Naga's song.
A nice stacking of the ancient camp there for the Tinker to probably pick up later. And it looks like Ninja is just going to go top and try and harass. Just a little bit. His bear's just following him around.
Double damage.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah. Queen of Pain does have her Lincolns up now. It's on the courier coming out to her. Both teams looks like they're unwilling to initiate. Both teams want the superior fight. Neither team's willing to commit and give the other team the superior position.
Well, as I said earlier, it's very hard for both teams. As I would say, honestly, it does have that better push, but you know they're finding it very hard to get the opportunities they need. As TnC have just got that superior map control at the
Radiant's
moment.
bottom tower is under attack.
But conversely, TnC have got that incredibly strong team fight, and even though they can only really team fight once every 2 minutes, that should be enough if they can absolutely dominate the team fight. Oh, that was a very close initiation mid. Did you catch that, or?
I didn't quite see what happened. The Magnus was in quite far, but then I saw the skewer out. I guess he was trying to catch the Rubik and pull him in.
Yeah, he was trying to catch the Rubik and he just missed it by
Okay, I see.
a fraction.
I thought maybe he
Really
was a
nice
little bit
pick-up.
overextended and Rubik sort of lifted him in, and then he skewered away. I wasn't too sure what happened.
Oh, he blinked in.
Okay.
I'm doing.
Radiant's bottom tower
I'm
is
just gonna
under
see
attack.
Tinker roaming around the map. Picked up a Dagon actually, so I think we can expect to see him possibly trying to take out heroes like the Queen of Pain, as much harass as he can. Nagas
This
has
is really
got his
dangerous
Radiance as
though.
well.
Oh, go on.
Oh no, I was just gonna say Nagas got a Radiance. You know, it was really dangerous.
Like this Tinker is being really active and trying to counter push and stuff, but it's quite dangerous because the Queen of Pain's been counter pushing bottom, split pushing I should say, and the Lone Druid's doing the same at top, and it feels like just this one Tinker isn't able to stop this by himself. Sure, he can sort of keep the wave out, but this is a Queen of Pain getting free farm in the lane, Lone Druid also getting free farm in the lane, while the rest of Zenith sort of just sit around in mid, just in case there's an engagement. So I think the farm advantage is going to TnC the way that they're playing this at the moment. Tinker, of course, getting good farm, but with Queen and Pain and Lone Druid both getting amazing farm as well.
Radiant's bottom
Oh yeah,
tower
I've split
is
that
under
up a little
attack.
bit. He is really trying to defend both those lanes at the moment. There's just not that much he can do against Queen of Pain who has that mobility. Once he gets his Hex up, he should be a little bit more capable of taking that Queen of Pain down, but it's still quite difficult. She is an incredibly mobile hero.
Yeah, Tinker this game, he wasn't able to secure a whole bunch of early kills. I mean, he's got himself up a Dagon now, so he might look to be more active in that regard. But without snowballing and getting those, as you said, the sheep stick and the Dagon up, it's going to be very hard. Yes, this is a very strong fight. A very nice skewer in, but the song stops the reverse polarity getting popped. Or it was popped, and the song nullifies it basically immediately. So that's very nicely played by the Naga, and they are going to convert this. The Lina drops straight away, but the Sonic Wave comes out and kills the Naga as well. Necrolite ulti used, drops another hero. This is 3 for 1 at the moment, with only the Naga being dropped. Queen of Pain gets locked in position just as she's trying to blink away, so she gets bring down. Now Ninja Boogie on the run. Aegis has popped. Still 4 heroes, all on low health, but they're not going to be able to... The Lone Druid's not going to be able to bring down any of them, I don't think. The lift straight onto a Ice Path. Very strong disable, and that Lone Druid wasn't able to get anywhere out of that. Aegis was popped as well in that fight. Wow.
He's very strong hit by the Necro. He's just incredibly hard to take down. He was taking so much damage that fight, but they just didn't have the capability to drop him.
Oh, and he's getting very close to a pipe as well. That's going to be so hard to kill. The spam ability from this Q coming out, healing everybody and himself, the mechanism and the pipe. I think once the pipe comes up, they're going to push this Rax, I believe.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And the pipe is actually on the way. This is very dangerous for them. Zenith now pushing every lane as well, so this is just looking grim and more grim for TnC at the moment. We've seen they've been able to take fights if they can get the better engage. But with the Naga Song defensively, that counter initiation is so strong.
With the Necro items, Necro is one of those heroes people play, they seem to play him very differently. You know, in professional games, typically they go for that really tank build with the mech, the pipe. You know, they might get a Bloodstone after for that extra mana regen, but usually he's just seen as a big tank who just walks into fights and just heals as much as possible, and I really think that's a very effective way to build him. Initiation on top on Ninja Boogie. He just blinks in, does a little bit of harass, but the Necro's not in position to carry, support him. But like I was saying, just a Necro build, I really like this build. There's, you know, a lot of people just go for items like, you know, straight Arganims or a Bloodstone as the first item, and he just doesn't have the tank capability to run in and really do as much damage with the Sadist and the heal if they do go for those, you know, mana regen items rather than the tank items. A little comment on Necro.
Yeah, very true. I think that this Necrolite playstyle is doing very well for Zenith. This Naga doing very well to farm for himself. With the Radiance now, she can actually send an illusion to each camp and kill that. And she's been doing that every minute now for a little while. At least for the last 2 minutes anyway.
Farming.
While she's farming the lane herself. And that's one of the reasons why, I think it was during the International too, the Chinese teams came out with this Naga Siren who could just farm ridiculously fast. Zenith now doing that again.
It's definitely a really great hero to be used against these massive AoE strats. As we've seen, you know, the reverse polarity is cast, but the Naga just sings at the perfect time, and all of these AoE ultimates are just rendered null. They can't do anything. It gives Zenith enough time to position, get themselves ready to fight.
It's so hard. If you look at the Zenith lineup, you know, they've got a Rubik which pretty much needs to be in a reverse polarity unless you're willing to give it away. The Naga sort of needs to be in it as well, because otherwise she's just going to song. And then the Necrolite wants to be in it, arguably not necessary, but you really want to be able to burst him down, because if you don't burst him down in the initial fight, you're not going to kill him the entire fight at all.
Yeah. We've got those 3 like priority targets, not to mention the Tinker, who's incredibly dangerous if he gets enough March spams off, which the Naga gives him enough time to do. So there's so many targets. Zenith is not, you know, a pub team who has no communication. They're a professional team who've been playing together for years, so they've got that ability to position themselves well enough that they're not going to get caught. I don't think we're going to see any 5-man reverse polarities, so now that I've said that, we probably will.
Yeah, Queen of Pain still doing relatively well for his team. The mobility and the counter push coming from the Queen of Pain has led her to have quite a large... she's level 16 as well, keeping up with the best of the Radiant. She's farming quite well herself too. Still not the most farmed, obviously. Let me just bring it up so I get the figures exact. Yeah, 4 heroes actually ahead of her. 3 of which on the Radiant. The Naga, the Tinker, and the Necrolite. Very, very strong. The Lone Druid's still a while away from getting up an AC, assuming that's what he's going for. He's already got the Hyperstone. If the game drags late enough, perhaps this Lone Druid can carry them. I'm not so sure. This Tinker is getting wailed on quite hard, and he is brought down before he's able to convert it. The TPs come in and the immediate song allowing more TPs to come, and they are going to convert this into a fight. Very strong initiation, Macro Pyre put down, Ice Path, and then the song is released. They're able to clean both up, uncontested very easily. It's just a shame that Tinker had to die there for Zenith.
This man did have an invis, but he didn't know it was coming.
Naga Siren with almost 5k gold. She might be playing herself up a full Manta style soon. If she wants to go for the Manta style, I don't see why not at this point.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
To be able to send so many illusions in just to wail down on a tier 3 tower slowly. A very safe way to do a push, and that's what we've seen over and over with a Naga Siren when she's built for the carry role.
What is she going for? Looks like she's actually going to pick up Heart. I think she just wants that survivability in team fights, and once she's got the Heart up with the Necro, they're just not going to be able to take those two heroes down.
Yeah, as you say, she's brought the full Heart up now. Both teams biding their time, farming up a little bit. I'm surprised TnCs haven't tried to set up some more ganks on this Tinker, who for the last couple of minutes has just been TPing in and counter pushing on this Queen of Pain
Radiant's bottom
reliably.
tower is under attack.
Comes down, March of the Machines, gets back to base, gets more mana, comes back and puts more. I might be rotating down there now with the Sven and the Magnus. Well, the Magnus is rotating down for sure. So is the rest of Zenith though. Necrolite, Jakiro and Rubik are here.
I think both teams are getting a little anxious because the Roshan is up. They both want to win a team fight, or at least, you know, make the other team, you know,
This
for
is
Zenith,
not going
they
to
want
turn
the other
out by the
team.
look of it. The Naga Siren is coming up behind. She might even use the song just to let everyone catch up. She does indeed. So the Magnus is sitting there and the Queen of Pain is just sitting there both alone. I don't know if they'll be able to get both kills. And they opt just to get down that Queen of Pain immediately. The Magnus should just get out of here.
They never miss.
Sven's rotating, but he's a while away. And Alone Druid and Alina are at top, not choosing to TP in. Tinker can now counter push. Alone Druid actually TP's mid, so he might come down
Dire's
bot, I'm
bottom
not too
tower
sure.
has fallen.
The Magnus is in quite a good position if he wants to go for a reverse polarity. He might be spotted out now though. Now he's in
Dire's
quite a
bottom
bad
tower is
position.
under attack.
I know,
There's
you're
Sven
lucky
caught
you
out
just
as
had
well.
to.
Rubik lift, and he's going to bring him back straight into an Ice Path, and the Necrolite's going to be there to DPS him down. And just the Naga Illusions might be able to get the Radiance kill. Does indeed.
This game picked off one by one, unfortunately. Magnus is just gonna hide in that Roshan. But no, I think he's gonna get caught out now unless he can, Oh! Very, very close to a 3-man reverse polarity, but he just doesn't have the capability. He just gets disabled far too fast. I mean, he's gonna fall in exchange for that. Queen of Pain does rotate in and gets a Sonic Wave off, but it's just not enough damage. They all just laugh it off with the mech heal as well as the pipe. And the Necrolite's Death Pulse. They do take the Ruby Cow, but
Has fallen.
not that great of an exchange for Magnus to Sven. Queen of Pain's ult when she doesn't have an Argonym Scepter.
Let alone the reverse polarity being used as well. You could argue that it would have been a lot more effective if they just sort of let this all fall in the bottom lane and then tried to turtle it in the base. It's generally a little bit easier to get a nice reverse polarity when you're defending the tier 3.
Yeah.
Maybe. Although it is a lot more predictable. Obviously, much of the machines put quite offensively can cancel the blink like we have seen before.
And I suspect we might do this thing to pick up an EB. Just an inkling of the board. You might just be going for that pure damage. Blink in. EB, Dagon, rearm, EB, Dagon, rearm.
Yeah, I think at this point they may as well.
Double damage.
Interestingly, Zenith swords are very, I guess, defensive around Roshan. They've got that one ward that gives them the vision of the secret shop, and they've got another ward that gives them vision in their own jungle. So I think they're just really trying to protect the Roshan, and same with TnC, who's got that one ward and a sentry around the Roshan. They're ready for any kind of ganks in that area, as both teams know that Roshan is going to be very, very crucial.
I don't know if you've checked out the XP and gold graphs recently.
Yeah,
It's telling a
it's
very
pretty
one-sided
bad.
story, and just as I say this Queen of Pain is gonna get taken out. Close to
very unlucky by
TPing,
her.
but with so many disables, wasn't
She
gonna
blinked
happen.
right into the Jakiro. She was in the lane and the Jakiro was just getting ready to gank her. She blinked right into him, so perfect opportunity to turn that into a gank with her blink on cooldown.
Manta now for the Nagasaren, just finished up.
Oh, reverse polarity cast by and by the Magnus trying to get the Tinker, but he just misses it. And Necro's just going to go incredibly aggressive at the moment. He's just diving in, still on full health, and manages to score a kill on that Lena. There's not very much that TnC can do at the moment. This Necro is just so hugely fat. He's almost got his own heart up. He just needs to go to the secret shop and grab the vitality booster.
I'm surprised he even bothered with a heart at this point. I thought he might have gone for a Necronomicon, to be honest. Add to the push.
I thought he might have been going for a Bloodstone so he could just stand in the middle of everyone and heal non-stop. But no, I guess they're just going for that huge survivability build. Nothing's gonna stop them and then Naga from just running in and taking everything up and then killing by a long-standing team fight with the Radiance and the Saddest and the Death Pulse.
I do feel a little bit sorry for this Magnus. I think he's had a bit of an off game, and it's a bit of a mental game that you play with yourself when you're playing in this sort of pro level. I think once you have one or two whiffs of a reverse polarity, it sort of really starts to affect you, and you get really nervous about it. Maybe that's potentially happening here, and now he's just going to miss more and more.
Yeah, he's definitely been having a hard time, and this Ninja Boogie might be caught out of position. The bear definitely is, and it is going to fall. He doesn't have it for another minute or so, so in comes the sad face. And that's definitely going to be the Roshan. The bear was holding not only the Radiance, but also the Assault Cuirass, and I don't know how they're going to defend against this with their two main items down, really. And they didn't even care about the Roshan. Zenith is just going to go straight for a team wipe. Vale is popped, Naga sleeps. Magnus manages to blink out, but the Chen is going to get trapped with the Ice Path. He gets nuked down by the Tink with his Dagon. Tink is just going to rearm and try to chase down that Queen of... No, the Queen of Pain.
The power of vision, hey? Radiant had a very nice high ground here.
Yeah.
High ground ward that was able to give them vision, and as soon as the Naga Siren saw 4 clumped up here, she's like, nah. Roshan, you're going to have to wait, mate. Songs. And with a 4 for 0 trade, they decided just to skip the Roshan. Maybe when they're running back, after getting some racks here, they might finish off the Roshan. But they should be able to get 2 sets of racks from this. That Lone Druid is still 45 seconds away from coming back, and without him, they've lost a lot of their DPS. The Queen of Pain scream, the Sonic Wave is up. With both Naga and the Necrolite having a heart, a full combo is not going to be able to bring them down anytime soon. 3 braces up on this Sven. You know the game's not going too good when you see 3 braces on the Sven.
Yeah, he's had them for a while. He hasn't managed to form any new items. Naga's just gonna dive right in, pops the song. Tinker's gonna TP in, Vale is pop as well. There's Ice Path and 2 heroes. Magnus is gonna get telekinesis. Then he's gonna fall. Lena's gonna fall. Magnus is gonna buy out, but it's not enough. He managed to skewer the Necro back in. Nice Entangle does manage to make the Necro fall. but he does have buyout and he's just going to run straight back in.
Dire's middle tower.
Meanwhile, Ice Ice is just going straight for the throne. He doesn't care about killing heroes, he just wants to win the game.
Yeah, very strong game by Zenith. They played every stage of that match very, very well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Ultimately, I think just outplayed TnC this game. TnC had a very strong lineup as well. The tri-lane perhaps didn't go exactly how they wanted. The Sven-Lina combination did show its power, but didn't secure them a huge advantage. Still another engage. Ultimately, the Magnus just instantly drops. Lone Druid's here for some more pain. The pain he most definitely gets.
That's definitely one thing Zenith does have, that
Tower has fallen.
in terms of their draft, you know, the
pain.
heroes aren't ones that really go for the 5-man push. They've got kind of a two split pushes and 3 go together with the Necro, the Rubik and the Jakiro, and that's just not what TnC wants to verse. With such heroes like the Klopp, the Sven, the Magnus, you know, they really want to see big team fights and they're just not getting that opportunity with the Tinker constantly pushing the lanes. And I think that's really what made TnC fall in that respect. They just didn't get the team fights they needed to get their advantage at Snowball.
Yeah, very true. TnC definitely needed that snowball effect. Didn't quite happen.